bread at, Herschel, the head of the theater department and our chaperone for those 2 weeks, told us that we could go find food on our own. He suggested we stick in groups of 2, but I ended up alone. No one was particularly interested in going to find a market and buying Cheetos or bagel chips in the middle of Athens, go figure. Thank God they at least had junk food here too. I'd find something suitable. When I turned the corner, I found something more than suitable. I saw the golden arches and I knew I had found salvation. There in the town square was McDonald's. I ran to it, glad to be able to eat something other than chips for a little while. I really need to be able to read the menu to know what number I wanted. The only thing I eat at McDonald's is chicken nuggets. And the picture that coincided with the number let me know exactly what I needed to tell the cashier. It was a little strange because unlike back home, it was a 6-piece meal instead of a 10-piece meal. Yep, there's American obesity, but at that point I couldn't care less because if I was really hungry, I'd just buy another. What mattered was that for the next 2 days that we were in Athens, I had somewhere to eat. For as long as I can remember, my mother has been concerned about my eating habits. The list of things I will eat is short and far outnumbered by the list of things I will not touch. Several food groups are severely lacking in my diet, such as vegetables or fruits. I like dairy products, especially cheese. I won't eat a lot of things because of texture. The only fruit in my diet is applesauce. And sometimes banana muffins if those count, but they can't have any of them. I won't eat any meat but fried and boneless chicken, and I love salty food. If I haven't tried it, it's likely I never will. I'm very brand specific. I will only eat Cheerios, not an imitation brand. I will only eat Mott's applesauce. I will only eat SpaghettiOs, not spaghetti. I will only eat Kraft mac and cheese and not the ones with those funny shaped noodles. I hate Cheez-Its, but I love Goldfish. I will only eat Skippy peanut butter, except on my waffles I need to have Jif peanut butter. When the brand of syrup we commonly used at home suddenly disappeared, I had an anxiety attack until my mother was able to find one that I decided was okay. A nutritionist told my mother to stop nagging me, and that when I entered college and had to eat on my own, this particular obsessive habit would change on its own due to necessity. He was wrong. During a psychological evaluation, when I was 16, the doctor theorized that symbolically my preference for dairy products may reflect my need for mother's milk. And may reflect her conflict around accepting nurturance. For her to accept nurturance may mean to give up autonomy. I know that my eating habits are about change and control. I don't understand the part about the dairy products and the mother's milk. I don't know where she got that, but I know that my anxiety stems from not having enough control, so I obsess over things that I can control, and one of those is food. I don't like change if I can't control it, and if I can control it, it's not going to change. I need to know that something will be as I planned it, even when everything else goes wrong. Whatever I've always eaten will be what I eat for the rest of my life. It is my only comfort. Exercise. You're turning bright red, Maya warned me, but I have to do 170 more calories, I panted, pacing around the elliptical. I was not happy with this. I was not happy that I had to stop for a minute. I used to be able to handle it. Well, maybe if you didn't try to go at least a speed of 10 miles an hour and slow down to 7 or 8, easy fine, or if you ate better. This was a pointed comment at my diet, which I chose to ignore. But if I go fast enough, I'll burn 100 calories in 10 minutes, and then I can go back on the bike, and then only I have to do 75 more calories here. I insisted. Maya shook her head, her short strawberry blonde hair making her face look even paler. You can't obsess with numbers so much, it's just not healthy. I rolled my eyes. She gave me this lecture every time we worked out. If Sparky hadn't been busy this week, I might not have had to listen to this. Maya was a great friend, but I was getting irritated with how obsessed she'd become with my obsession. Don't roll your eyes, EJ. I'm serious. Give me a minute and I'll be fine. Fine. Don't listen to me. I realized that I couldn't make her too angry. I did not like to work out alone, and aside from the weak fit, Maya was the only person I worked out with outside of Sparky, who was too busy. So, I should listen to her. Okay. I'll go slower on this, and instead of going back to the bike, I'll take a break, and then I'll do my own thing on the weak fit later. That sounds like a good idea. I had calmed her, I could get back on the machine. And when I was done, I went back to my apartment and did the We Fit free run like a nutcase until I stopped feeling guilty. I stretched and took some Advil so that I could again work out the next day. I gained 35 pounds in my sophomore year in college. I have always been lazy, but one day I got so sick with myself that I decided to do something. This began the exercise obsession. Upon reading something about how depression patients commonly use the We Fit to help them feel better because both exercise and video games heighten endorphins, I decided to invest in one. I would use the We Fit until I burned at least 250 calories every weekday. On weekends, I would go with my friends to the gym in their building. Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays, I'd try for burning about 400 calories. I would do 20 minutes on the bike, which burned about 100 calories, 10 minutes on the elliptical, which burned about 100 to 125 calories, because the elliptical is easier after the bike. I would then repeat it until I was satisfied, and occasionally I'd work my legs on the weights afterwards. This was, no doubt, my healthiest obsession. Exercise can actually help energy, and for someone who suffers from depression, energy is something I need a lot of. But this is the same thing as my eating. I tried harder and harder to control my body. If I could control my body, then maybe, just maybe, I could control my mind too. And my mind is the thing that so often betrays me. Thinking nervously about anything, everything, causing me to be so afraid that there are times when I'm unable to do my schoolwork and sometimes unable to function. I figured that once I fixed my eating and the exercise, I'd move on to permanently fixing my teeth, getting laser surgery for my eyes, and having my scars removed. I wanted my body to be perfect to make up for the fact that my mind is far from it. Part of me knew that this wouldn't solve anything, but if I'm pretty, being self-conscious is one less thing I'd have to worry about. Jocelyn is originally from outside of Pittsburgh and considers herself a nomad here in Chicago. She is an assistant editor and online editor for the literary magazines House of Review, Creative Nonfiction, and Art, and she hopes to pursue editing and publishing in the future.